What's up, everybody? This is Nico from MTG Drafts coming at you with another Battle for Zendikar Swiss. I just joined the queue, and I'll be back once it starts up. Alright, guys, so here we are in our first pack. And we opened a Wasteland Strangler. I feel like I opened this card a lot. I opened it in the first draft that I recorded. And again, I think it's a great card. I kind of don't want it here because I want to do something a little different. But I still think it's the best card in the pack to take. There's also a Benthic Infiltrator, though. That's a consideration. There's also a Fire Mantle Mage and Skyrider Elf, both of which are good, but not cards I want to take right now. I'm between the Benthic Infiltrator and the Wasteland Strangler. I almost just want to take the Benthic Infiltrator, to be honest. I can take the Enabler now, and I don't know. Benthic Infiltrator. I guess I take the Wasteland Strangler. I'm not happy about it, though. Alright, so in our second pack, we get past Beastcaller Savant, which is fine. I don't think it's, a busted rare or anything, but it's good. Not so good with the Wasteland Strangler. There's also a Deathless Behemoth, which is awesome. 6 mana for 6/6 Vigilance, I love it. Would play it in almost any deck. Sludge Crawler is very good with the Wasteland Strangler. I think it's a good ingester that gets really good in the late game as well. I think I'm going to take this Deathless Behemoth, though. I can play it in any deck. I'm not really tied to my first pick here. And hopefully there'll be some other good ingesters that I can pick up later on. I think Deathless Behemoth is just a great card that could go in any deck, and I'd rather take that second pick than a Sludge Crawler, which, while good, isn't really second pick worthy in my opinion. Okay, so here there's a Blighted Step, a Hedron Archive, Evolving Wild, Silent Skimmer. These are all good cards. If I wanted to stick in the Black Devoid, I could take the Silent Skimmer. I could also just take this Hedron Archive, which, again, it goes in more decks. I don't think the Silent Skimmer is super amazing. I could also just take this Evolving Wild and be open to splashing more colors. A lot of people say it's important to pick up Evolving Wilds early in this format. And I think I agree. Fixing is always nice, and fixing it is at a premium here. But do I like it better than just taking Hedron Archive? I do want to take these because I want to stay more open. I think I'm going to take the Hedron Archive. That might be wrong, though. Yeah, I'm going to take the Hedron Archive here. Alright, so we get past Transgress the Mind, Tide Drifter, both of which are good. Dominator Drone is fine. And Myers Malice I like quite a bit. I think I'm going to take this Transgress the Mind. I've been very impressed with this card. I think it's a lot more powerful than it seems. Just taking like any strong card out of your opponent's hand could completely wreck their strategy. So I think this is a very good card. Tide Drifter would also be nice. But I think I like Transgress the Mind here. Not sure if that's right. But I am going to take it. Alright, so here's a Forerunner of Slaughter. So if I wanted to, I could get into Red-Black Devoid. And I think I'm actually going to do that. I could also take a Kozilek Sentinel or Myers Malice. But they don't really have the same power as the Forerunner of Slaughter. And I never really go Red-Black Devoid. Usually when I go Devoid, I have blue in some form. So blue-red or blue-black. And I don't think I've ever played with Forerunner of Slaughter. So I'd be interested in taking it here and see where that lands us. Right now, I think we're built more for blue. And in a previous draft, I did say that Wasteland Strangler is more of a blue-black card. But if I pick up some like Sludge Crawlers or the 2/2 Bear Ingester, we could still get there. This could still be a good card. So I'm gonna try to go Black-Red Devoid here. Okay, and then we get, Spell Shrivel's good. Not for this. Titan's Presence could actually be good with what we have. Forerunner of Slaughter, Wasteland Strangler, and Deathless Behemoth all work pretty well with it. And I think I like that better than just like Grave Birthing or Narcana Assassin and Vampiric Rites, which are mediocre. So yeah, I think I like taking Titan's Presence here. I don't normally like playing this card because it's so conditional, but I think it actually looks pretty decent in our deck. Alright, so I could take a Ruin Processor. Yeah, there's not much else. I mean, there's Grave Birthing. I guess I'll take a Ruin Processor. That's fine. Okay. There's a Valakut Predator, a Call the Scions. That's a pretty late Valakut Predator. I think it's a pretty good card. And I could play it. If we're trying to be like red-black aggro, this is an aggressive card. It's just not devoid, so it doesn't work with Titan's Presence, for example. But I still think it's a good card, and I would play it. So I'm going to take it here. Okay, so here's an interesting choice. I could take a Vestige. Interesting that I guess there was probably a foil. The basic land's missing. I could take the Vestige and play that, which is a Find Devoid guy, or I could just take a Blighted Fen, which I think is a pretty good land. I think I'll take the Vestige. Yeah, I'm going to take the Vestige here. Okay, Demon's Grasp is a pretty good pickup late. Pretty happy to get that. Solid removal, and we don't really have much right now. Titan's Presence, which is situational, but I'll take the Demon's Grasp. Blighted Step, Unnatural Aggression, Volcanic Upheaval. I think I'm going to cut a Blighted Step. I mean, Unnatural Aggression, Blighted Step. I'll take a Blighted Step. Okay, I'm not going to play any of these cards most likely. I think Belligerent Whiptail is the most playable, so I'll just take that. Not really worried about a Raider or Angelic Gifts. Scour is fine. I usually won't look to play it, but it's playable. Brood Hunter Worm I'm not a huge fan of, and Crumble to Dust is pure garbage. I mean, maybe if somebody's running like 5 or 6 dual lands somehow, or I don't know. I would not play it in draft. So I think this is a pretty solid start. I'd be looking to cut Belligerent Whiptail and Scour from existence first. But we can see what we get here. Alright, so we open up a Woodland Wanderer, which is a very good card. Also a Resolute Blade Master, which is very good. What to take? I could just take a Pilgrim's Eye, which is kind of interesting. I think I will. There's not really much else. There's a Demon's Grasp and a Mire's Malice, both of which are good. But Pilgrim's Eye could be pretty awesome in this deck. And it could help us splash something if we open up some bomb in a third color in the third pack. So I don't think we're giving up a lot for this. It's basically a Demon's Grasp or a Mire's Malice. And I'm currently not comfortable splashing for like a Blade Master or Woodland Wanderer. So I'd rather just take the Pilgrim's Eye here. I think another card of note is the Akum Stonewaker. I think this is a pretty good card, especially if you're trying to be aggressive. But I think we're actually, even though we're red-black, we're kind of more set towards a mid-rangey feel. I think I'm going to take this Pilgrim's Eye. Alright, well, Brutal Expulsion is a pretty good card that I would like to splash for. But there's also just a Nettle Drone and a Culling Drone. I think I actually just want the Nettle Drone here. I think it's set up to be pretty good in this deck, so I definitely want this. Brutal Expulsion would be nice, but I'd rather just take cards. I always default to taking cards in my own 2 colors if they're good enough, and Nettle Drone is definitely good enough. Also would like to pick up a Culling Drone at some point, but that's okay. We can pass this one. Wow, so okay, so we have another Nettle Drone or a Carrier Thrall. I do like Carrier Thrall a lot, but I think I'm going to take the second Nettle Drone. I think it's more of a synergistic pick. and I would like as many Nettle Drones as I can get. There's also an Evolving Wilds, which is a good pick, and a Sky Spawner, which is always awesome, and a Snapping Gnarlid. So this is a pretty good pack. All of these cards, Wild, Sky Spawner, Gnarlid, and the Thrall and the Nettle Drone, I think those are all very, very good picks. I'm going to be pretty happy to take this Nettle Drone here, though. Okay, this is a little bit more of a poor pack. I could take a Mindraker. It's fine. Nothing special. Yeah, there's really nothing else. I mean, there's some good cards for other colors, but nothing really for us. I guess I'm just going to take this Mindraker and potentially play it. I'd rather not, but it's playable. This is interesting. So, Blighted Gorge I like. I also like Pathway Arrows and Kozilek's Channeler. I think I'm just going to take this Channeler here. It's a colorless creature, which we just want as many of those as we can get, and it can ramp into a Rune Processor or a Behemoth if we don't hit our 6th land drop. Also, a McKindy Slide Runner is interesting, though. I think I'm going to go for a more synergistic pick here than the aggressive card. Like I said, even though we're red-black, we're actually not as aggressive as red-black tends to be. So I'm going to take this Channeler. Well, this is a great pickup. This Malakir Familiar, very happy to get that. And there's really not a ton else. Voracious Null is barely playable. Probably best in the black-green Sacrifice deck. Sure Strike is a fine combat trick. And Hedron Blade can be good in the sideboard against some matchups. And Bone Splinters again for that black-green Sacrifice deck. But yeah, Malakir Familiar is a very good pickup here. Okay, and here's a Stone Fury. I'd be happy to pick up some removal, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, there's not really much else for us. Again, like Undo Champion and Belligerent Whiptail are just okay. Not super amazing, so Stone Fury is definitely the pick. Alright, so we can take... Ooh, Sludge Crawler here. I'm definitely going to take the Sludge Crawler. I think we kind of need it. Otherwise, there's like Outnumber, which is okay. I don't think this is premium removal, so I wouldn't take this here over Sludge Crawler. Sludge Crawler is, I think, exactly what we want. It's an early play that gets better in the late game, and it can turn on our Wasteland Strangler and a Mindraker if we want, and also our Rune Processor, so I'm pretty happy to get that. Sorry. So, in this pack, we have the Stonewaker, which came back, and the Myers Malice. I like both of these cards. Stonewaker's a solid 2-drop and a good mana sink if you have nothing else to do. But I also like me a Myers Malice. I guess we kind of are aching for the 2-drops right now, so I'm going to take the Stonewaker. That could be wrong, but I think we have more of a chance to pick up a Myers Malice in the 3rd pack anyway, so that's fine. Here, there's a Molten Nursery, which I don't really want to play. How many colorless creatures or colorless spells do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Probably not playing a couple of these. So that could be good. I could also just take a Devastator, though, or a Looming Spires. I guess Molten Nursery can be very good in some matchups, so I'll take that, but probably relegate it to the sideboard for now. I've never played Geyserfield Stalker. I don't think it's that great. I think I'd rather just cut a Wavewing Elemental. It could be a problem for our deck. I'm not sure about Retreat. I don't think it's that great. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to cut this Wavewing Elemental. I'm going to cut this Beastmaster. I don't want another Whiptail. Alright. Blighted Gorge. That's pretty good. I'll happily take that. And Sandstone Bridge and an island. Okay, cool. Cool. So we already kind of have a deck. Definitely some cards I'd be wanting to cut. Mindraker and Scour at the top of that list. Endless One, Endless One, Endless One. Well, that's pretty much a great card to get. It goes well in our deck. Especially, I mean, this is a great card in any deck, but I feel like it goes especially well in our deck. Unfortunately, it does not work very well with Titan's Presence, which I think is kind of funny. Some other good cards are Angel of Renewal and the Sky Spawner, which I like a lot. Also a Swarm Surge, which could be a card that we could consider, but I'm not especially looking to consider it. So I'll take the Endless one, and I'm going to put this Molten Nursery in the side for now. So here there is another Sludge Crawler, and there's also a Touch of the Void. I think I'm just going to take the removal spell here. We don't have that great of removal. It's basically Stone Fury, Scour, which I don't want to play, Demon's Grasp, and Titan's Presence. So I want Touch of the Void. It's cheaper removal, and it also exiles something, which is good for the Strangler and the Mindraker, and the Processor. And none of those cards require repeated processing. It's just once it enters the battlefield, or when you cast it. So just exiling one or two cards is just fine for me. Okay, so I guess this pack isn't that great for us. I'll just take this Evolving Wilds. It'll help since we're playing the Blighted Gorge, to sort of even out our mana. So I'm fine picking that. This is a good pack, though. There's a Sky Spawner, a Castigator, an Encircling Fisher, and a Gnarlid. All great cards. But yeah, I think for us it's just this Evolving Wilds. Okay, so this is another Deathless Behemoth. I'm definitely going to take it. 2 Deathless Behemoths? That's great. I can't believe this card is going this late in this pack. I really think this is an amazing card, and I'm going to take it. Okay, so here's an interesting pick. I can take a Silent Skimmer or a Fire Mantle Mage. I'm going to cut this Whiptail. I'm going to cut Scour. So this is 22 cards. Do I like Silent Skimmer or Fire Mantle Mage? We have quite a few 3-drops. Silent Skimmer works better with like Nettle Drone. It doesn't work with Titan's Presence. I think I'm going to take the Silent Skimmer. Is that right, though? I mean, we can't trigger Fire Mantle Mage more than once, so I think for that reason, I'm just going to take the Silent Skimmer. This is interesting. So Gruesome Slaughter actually seems decent in our deck. I mean, a lot of our colorless spells have 3 power. I guess not all of them. Silent Skimmer is kind of a non-bow, Pilgrim's Eye. I think Gruesome Slaughter is a little too inconsistent. I'd rather just have a solid 2-drop in Kozilek Sentinel. So that's going to be my pick here. It's tempting, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's for us. So I'm going to take the Sentinel. Okay, so there's another Molten Nursery. Given that I'm not even sure about the first, I'm not going to take that. I think I'm just going to take the Outnumber. I also like Valakut Invoker, don't get me wrong. But Outnumber is a solid removal. Not premium, like I said, but I think it'll be fine. 1 mana removal spell, like even if you get it up to like shock level value, it's still very good. So I'm going to take that. Would I play 2 Blighted Gorge? We do have an Evolving Wilds and a Pilgrim's Eye. That's kind of tempting. I think I'm going to do it. I could take the Mire, which I'm not too high on this one. But Cohort's garbage in our deck. I guess I can take a Blown Splinters. We could use it. I'll take that here. If we find anything that we really can't deal with, then I could bring it in. I'm not really worried about any of these cards. I guess I can cut and infuse with the elements. I think that has the biggest potential for blowout, so I'll cut that. And I'll steal... I guess I'll take someone's Fertile Thicket. I will take the Swarm Surge. That's actually kind of interesting. Cut a Beastmaster. So we have a few cuts to make. I think this has a lot of potential. So what do I want to cut? I think I'm going to cut this Mindraker. We have 25 right now, so we need 3 cuts. I could cut the Stonewaker. I'm not going to start the Swarm Surge. I could just cut our colored creatures to create more synergy. Let me do this. I think we ended up pretty good on removal. We got Stone Fury, Demon's Grasp, Touch of the Void, Outnumber. I think that's pretty solid. So if I cut 2 creatures, what does that look like? I could just cut the Predator and the Stone Waker. Although I kind of like the Stone Waker. And we're short on 2 drops. I guess Endless One could be a 2-drop, but that's not exciting. I think I'm going to cut the Predator. As good as it is, I don't think it's what we want to do. And I think Stonewaker is looking like the other cut. We can bring it in if I need a 2-drop, but I don't think I want to be sinking mana into my Stonewaker. We have other things to do with it, so I think this is what our deck's going to look like. And we can add some lands. So let's see. We have double red in Stone Fury. And some early red plays. We also want our Sludge Crawler early, though. So this would be like 8-9 with the Evolving Wilds. Let me check. Let me sort this by color. Yeah, we have a lot of colorless, like straight up colorless cards, which is interesting. Yeah, I guess I want to lean more towards red. My only concern is the Sludge Crawler on turn 1 that I would like to have, but I think we do want more red. So I'm gonna keep it like this, and I'll run this, and it looks pretty good. So let's see where this takes us. I'll see you guys in the first match.